Hi friends, let's take a look at LINK. We're going to take a look at LINK versus Bitcoin and LINK versus the dollar. Of course, if this is your first time joining me, welcome to the family. Really appreciate you turning up today and tuning in and all that sort of jazz. Absolutely fantastic to have you as part of this community that we're growing here. So let's just take a look. So this is the Bitcoin prices. We will be looking at the dollar prices in just a second. It's interesting price action overall in a sense. You know, we had this bearish divergence across this upward trend that we spoke about. We got this downward price action thereafter as a result of that. We broke down, we went down below a couple of levels here that we were kind of keeping our eye out for instance 47,000, and that where did we actually get as far down as? Well, we went down here and kind of supported by the 50 simple in a sense that we were looking at, but you know, on the 4 hour time frame here, but and then we come back up above this Fibonacci retracement yet again, the 618, into this little bit that's right in this pocket at the minute, and we're asking the question, can we come up to the 236 here yet again? So we're looking towards that 49,000 area, and can we make it up there, and is there sort of anything to be aware of at the minute? So let's take a look. If this is a downward trend, you could say, is there divergence there? I know it's not much to look at, but there's a tiniest touch of bullish divergence, you could say, here on the oscillators down below. It's tiniest touch, tiniest class B stuff, but it's there. So that's positive. We're above the 21 on the 4 hour chart, that's positive, and we're above that 618 in that pocket, like I was saying, which is positive, and everything. So that's good. So maybe this is just the play off the back of that. That's the positive case scenario. Of course, the negative case scenario is that until, you know, we're opening and closing up above in terms, oh, feck. Till we're opening and closing on the 4 hour time frame, opening and closing up above this, which we're at the minute, you know, 48,000 price point, then we're making a lower high, and that's just part of this overall thing. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But this is just the 4 hour time frame. Let's go up to the 12 hour time frame, take a look at that. Things looking a little bit sort of more turnaroundery here, perhaps. So that's good. And now let's look at the 24 hour time frame actually again, and just kind of refresh our minds on where we are in terms of the targets and whatnot that we've got in mind. We want to see the prices remain above the 47,000 in this 48,000 area and move up towards 49,000. I know this sounds a little bit like painting by numbers, but that's because that's where that 236 is, and then afterwards then we want to see it going up to this 786 here, which is a potential turnaround area that we had before. It's a previous high. We want to see it going up further and higher than that, of course. So that's it. So if we get prices up above 51,000, then I'm going to resume the bullish overall momentum here with this thing, and then I'm not a financial advisor, and that's financial advice, and be looking towards the previous highs and asking the question, can we break these previous highs? This is where it's all coming down to. If not, then essentially we could be seeing the start of the downward trend here, and it's too early to say in the 24 hour time frame you've got divergence or anything like that on the go, and you can see this sort of slackening off of the upward trend here on the DMI oscillator down below, and the momentum fading off here, as you would expect during this little bit of price action after the back of the bearish divergence on the 4 hour time frame. So overall, that's all kind of good. Let's just see how it pans out. And on the dollar prices, well, it's the same sort of thing, a little bit less clear, a little bit less beautiful, really, in terms of the formation here compared to Bitcoin prices at the 4 hours. We had ding 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 ding, all looked quite nice, or whatever, but it's the same story and the same fallout, the same follow through thereafter. And where do we see the oscillators? Well, we're up here, and we kind of want to ask the question, can we come up into this and challenge into the bullish control zone? And if we come down here, then will we be supported by not only the neutral line but the moving average here on this one, and see this kind of turn around here as part of this? If this was a 4 hour downward trend, it's not really, but if it was, then do we have this little turnaround feel here on this oscillator? And we do, just like on the Bitcoin prices. And over here we can see that while they're do-si-doing around, as I explained yesterday in one of the videos, dancing around each other, you can see that currently, I suppose, if that it's the DMI positive has got the pin on the DMI negative, but the referee is not in the ring quite yet. At 16, hasn't come over and started giving a countdown to 3 to say that we're trending up yet. So, you know, we'll still have to see who walks away with the wrestling championship there on that front, but yet to come. So that's really what we're looking at. Let's go back up to the 24 hour time frame then, just to draw in what we want to see happen. All of these things want to see crossing up to the upside. Of course, the 50 hasn't crossed below the other one, so we don't have a death cross. We're still living under the conditions of this golden cross from back over here in the start of February, which is good. Which is again another sign of how LINK is kind of one of these different coins in the market, which has got a little bit more substance to it, perhaps, and a bit more sort of the plunge protection team coming and maybe a wee bit here more on this one than they do in other assets. We've come down, touched off the 50 simple, which is really good to see in terms of a retest, which has been a positive response back to down at 290. $2.97 or so in that $3 area we spoke about so often having been retested, and now we're back up at $3.39. So there was a good solid easily over 10% move for people who are like looking towards the $3 and thinking, can it be retested? I'm not a financial advisor, it's what we spoke about. This is not financial advice, but it's what we spoke about. And then we've come back up since here above the 236 or the 50% retracement line, and we want to see this sustained, and we have to see prices. We do have to see them in the next day or two or so, really, as part of this overall upward movement anyway, before a local low, not time wise, but before prices need to, in terms of the ups and downs, they need to go up above, in my opinion, 345 before they go down again to sort of 315 area, and we're on the ways to do that currently. Let's just see how that pans out, because we are here at the sort of the question asking time, you know. We need the price action to go up and stay up above that, and it's happened very quickly as sort of this overall upward trend thing. So it's not, it doesn't need to convince me quite yet. We could see things bubble around here, you know, but it's coming back with immediate answers for us, which is interesting to see. It's a strong asset maybe potentially for us currently. Let's see if we can make our way in. Having been rejected off of the bullish control zone in the first pass, essentially first and second really, can we make it into there and then make higher highs again and trend upwards on the RSI? We want to see the RSI as well continue to go up and make higher highs, just like the price action overall, to avoid getting that divergence on the go. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Thank you so much for tuning in. The story, by the way, is the same over here on the other guy. So far, this could be considered to be a sort of consolidation phase just now, but you know, it's happening in and around certain areas or key areas, so that's not too bad to see. Let's see how it shakes itself out in the longer term. Obviously, we want to see this blue go up above again, where we could have this nice strong trend potential here. If we get the DMI positive moving up above that, I'll be quite happy about it. I suppose maybe actually something that's been interesting to look at recently is the 2-day time frame, and you can see here this sort of coming along here where how that adds up again. That 345 need to be opening and closing up there to get past this little bump here on the way up. And if it takes a bit longer to do it, that's okay too, I suppose. Overall, just remaining above these moving averages would be ideal. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Comment, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Share this video with a friend if you have one that you think would like it. And yeah, I really do. Just really appreciate everybody that's been part of this community so far. It's absolutely fantastic. I look forward to hitting heart on all the comments you leave down below the videos, this one, and tune into the other ones as well. Watch Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those two are kind of talking a lot more about the overall market, and it's maybe good to have a broader view on the market. Going to go and do Tezos now. That's another coin. If you like ChainLink, you probably would like Tezos just in terms of its price action alone. And I'll catch you in the next episode.